everyone, this is Miss Baratko from Watkinson School, and today I want to show you about all of the cool technologies we're going to be using on the iPad this school year. So the first thing you need to know is that everyone will have access to the iPad in the classroom. Your textbook you will only need at school because we are going to be working with a flipped classroom pedagogy. That means you will never have any written homework and you will never need your textbook at home. So, that being said, we're always going to access our textbook through the iPad. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to go into iBooks. And I've already got the book open up for you here, but usually what you will see is your library. And it looks very much like a bookshelf. It looks like a real library. It's kind of cool. And you're just going to click on the book. This is the Watkinson School 6th grade math book that I wrote for our class. So let's back up a little bit. There are regular chapters, just like any textbook. There's also some interactive pieces that are really neat. You can click and drag and see different components of equations and different examples, so hopefully this will be really cool for you to work with. The other thing that you will be able to access in your iBook are all of the worksheets and assignments and tests and quizzes that we're going to be doing during class. And whenever you see some kind of worksheet like this pop up, you're going to be able to click the link on the bottom that says Go, and it's going to bring you to an enlarged version of that worksheet. Now, you might be thinking, how am I going to do this worksheet on the iPad? That just doesn't make sense. Well, that's where some of the apps come in. So the first app that we're going to use is called Notability. And as soon as you access this worksheet, you're going to be able to click on the top, Open In, and you're going to select Notability. Notability is an app that picks up your own handwriting. It's very cool. So you're going to create a new note with your worksheet and just click OK when it comes to page numbers. They're not important. You're not going to mess it up. So just always click OK. Now we're in the worksheet, and I'm going to select the pencil tool at the top of the page. Everyone is also going to have access to a stylus, which looks very much like a pencil. And you're going to write right on the iPad, just like you would write on a regular piece of paper, using your stylus. It has a rubber tip, so it's soft, and it's not going to scratch the iPad screen. There are a few ways to do your handwriting in Notability. You can pinch and pull the screen outwards to enlarge any problem that you want to focus on. And when I do that, I can now just write directly on the screen with my stylus. So I'll do the example for you so you can see. If I'm multiplying 136 times 35, the first thing I do is multiply 5 times 6. That gives me 30, so I drop my 0 and I carry my 3. Then I multiply 5 by 3. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18, drop my 8, carry my 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Now I bring down my 0 to hold the place value. 3 times 6 is 18, bring down the 8, carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10, bring down the 0, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Now I'm going to do the sum so that I can get my answer. 0 plus 0 is 0, 8 plus 8 is 16, 6 plus 1 is 7, and 4. So my solution to that problem is 4,760, and I could see that right there. Now, if you don't want to be enlarging and shrinking your screen, you can keep it at its normal size, and you can use the magnification tool at the bottom of your screen. And this is kind of cool because it gives you this little magnifying box. And the box allows you to write in whatever area the box is highlighted. It enlarges at the bottom of the screen. So I can write very big on the bottom of the screen, and it will appear on my worksheet in the correct size, in an appropriate size to fill up the worksheet the way I would like to. So that's also another way that you can write using Notability. Some other cool features of this app is that there's a highlighter tool. You can highlight anything that you want to. There's also a text tool. So if you're more of a typer and you want to, say, type your name on the top of your paper, you are more than welcome to do that. Any writing in terms of sentences, you will always have the option to type. It's just in terms of the mathematical notation that you're going to want to work with your handwriting and the stylus. And that's going to take some practice, so we're going to get going on that right away. Whenever you finish a worksheet in Notability, the way we're going to save all of our work, the way we're going to build our digital notebook, is we're going to export that work to a new app called Evernote. Now, Evernote is a really great system because you can get to it through the internet, you can get to it through your iPad, or you can get to it through your personal iPhone or iPad device. So I just imported my worksheet into Evernote, and it's very cool that it's right here. I can see it. It's saved in my notebook forever. Now, everyone's going to have their own notebook. So if you take a look, this is what I've been working on a little bit, but here are all of your notebooks, all ready to go. So as soon as you create your Evernote account, whenever you do something in Notability and you export it into Evernote, it's going to show up into your personal notebook. And I'm going to have access to that so that when I need to, I can grade assignments and I can save them for you right in Evernote. That way you can access your grades at any time. You can go log into Evernote at home, go to the website, evernote.com, and see everything that we've been working on in class. It's also a great way to show your parents what we've been working on in class too. Another tool that you might want to access at home pretty regularly, we're not going to use so much in the classroom, but at home we are going to have this tool for us, and it's called Edmodo. So I'm going to click on my Edmodo app. And in Edmodo, you're going to have an account, and it looks a lot like Facebook. You can upload your picture. There's a discussion board or a news feed that's flowing up the page. And what you are able to do is post links, activities, different websites, things that you find that are cool, all up on the Edmodo board. The other cool thing about Edmodo is I'm going to be keeping track of all of your grades. So whenever you want, you can log into your class and you'll be able to see all your grades. So obviously my account here doesn't have any grades yet, but you will always have your grades, as will your LSP instructors. So that's something to think about. You're always going to know exactly how you're doing in math class, no matter what. The last piece that I want to show you very quickly is called Class Dojo. And again, this is another thing that we're not going to be using in the classroom as much as maybe you might want to use at home, or maybe your parents might want to use at home. So as I'm logging in, I'm going to show you how this works. Once you get into Class Dojo, during class time every day, you're going to be able to see this kind of screen up on the board, on an iPad that's not being used. Somewhere in the classroom, this screen is going to be available. And I have the app on my phone that allows me to assign everyone positive and negative points. Okay? So here are your little alter egos. You are all little monsters. So these are the kinds of things that you're going to see walking around. Your monster is going to be on all of your folders. So, for example, when we start out, I might have Siobhan, and in class, I decide that Siobhan's doing a really great job collaborating. So I'm going to give her that collaboration point. Now, if you notice the screen on the side of the room, you'll notice that Siobhan got 1 positive point today. Really cool. At the end of the week, I'm going to email your parents all of your positive and negative points so that they have a clue of what you've been working on and what kind of things you've been acting upon in class, and whether you've been a positive class participant or whether we have some work to do. So here are just a couple of the tools that we're going to be using on the iPad throughout the school year. And I hope this helped to make a little sense of what we're doing and gives you a little bit of exposure and familiarity with the apps. And that way, when you see them for the first time, you won't be so overwhelmed, okay? I'm looking forward to working with all of you. We can't wait for back to school. So enjoy those last few days of summer.